Okay, and then your mother. Now, what do you remember about her, Aunt Sally?
Oh my goodness.
What did you think of her when you were little?
Well, she had a lot in common with your dad. She was tall and intimidating.
Yeah.
They looked similar, I thought, in the eyes. Yeah.
Very much so.
Yeah.
So I admired my mother in many ways, but she was a lady to be reckoned with. And as an only child with no dad, and I kept my distance there too and spoke when spoken to.
With your mom?
Oh, sure.
Was that frustrating for her, you think?
For her, probably.
Yeah.
She had her own life. She was very goal-oriented, and I know she loved me, but she certainly had her own agenda going. So it was, I was an only child, and I made my way. I got to be very independent.
I remember you being independent, yeah. And then did she teach you to make beds with hospital corners?
Oh, of course. And you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
me too, when I was there. And did you have to keep your room very straight all the time?
Absolutely.
And you read Pride and Prejudice, I assume?
I tried not to. I never liked it.
But that was her favorite book. I loved it. I thought it was
Yeah,
a pretty good
well,
book.
Well,
that's
she
good.
read to me the Odyssey
She did.
in English before I started school. And I, to this day, say there was never an adventure story comparable to the Odyssey or
She must have been a good actress too.
Oh, she was wonderful, yeah.
Wow.
Or an instance of the good guy winning out in the end. When Odysseus strung that bow and went after the suitors. Boy, that's there's not another moment in literature like that.
No.
And that really made an impression on me.
And she had you to visit every summer?
Every summer, and for a number of years, I stayed a month with her in the summer.
Is that right?
With Uncle John and Aunt Sally
And Nancy?
at 3015 Simpson Street, Evanston, Illinois.
That was before Nancy.
Oh, that was before you, yeah. You didn't come along till the end of World War II. But they lived there.
Well, you were about 12 or 13 then. That wasn't that.
Yeah, he
You weren't
was.
that old.
Yeah. Oh well, let's see. I was 11 in 1945, 12 in 1946, et cetera, et
And
cetera.
you had gone every summer from what age to what age?
Well, in the first after I was 5 or 6 years old, I went there a month, 2 or 3 summers.
And then Bill and Ruth.
They went one time
Bill
with
and
me,
Ann.
yeah. But we used to go, they used to take us all over Chicago, which to this day I consider an extremely fascinating city. Really.
Like Tiptonville, like the
Like
way
Tiptonville,
the way we
yeah.
felt about Tiptonville.
I'll never forget though, for example, she had some chocolate, Hershey's chocolate kisses, those little things in the triangular shaped things in the
Silver wrapper?
silver wrapper in a pot in the middle of the living room. And she told me, you better not eat any of those. And I ate one with her standing there looking at me. And because of that, I did not get to see the Seawolf with Edward G. Robinson, which was having its first run in Chicago at one of the downtown Chicago theaters at that time.
Why didn't you
And
wait?
to this day, I've always considered that a particularly desirable movie.
That's like
I
you.
But
never
she
heard
was-
that story.
You wouldn't let me see Spartacus because I'd done something terrible. Like,
Oh,
Oh,
missed
because
my
you'd done
piano
something
practice.
terrible?
Like missing piano practice or something, yeah. I
Yeah,
think
she
it's
she
sorry.
she she would brook no nonsense. you did what she said, and of course Dad was that way on steroids, you know.
But I don't understand why, knowing that, you chose to go ahead and eat that chocolate kiss in front of her.
I didn't quite believe her
Oh, you did?
at that point.
Oh.
Well, she certainly made her point.
She certainly changed my mind about that, yeah.
Oh, funny. I haven't heard that story.
You haven't?
No,
Okay.
I have not heard that story.
Well, now, Uncle John had been chairman of the Department of Psychology at Northwestern University.
And how did
At
she
that
say
time.
they met?
In class. She took one of his classes.
And she liked him? Thought he was
I
wonderful?
didn't hear the, all that part.
Oh, you didn't?
No,
Oh,
I
okay.
just know that's how they met.
They met in class, okay. That's the end of that story. Okay. But anyway, what were we gonna
Well,
say?
they got married, and of course they got when they got married. You said that Uncle John's children thoroughly disliked Aunt Sally.
They didn't know her,
Yeah,
but the fact that she was a second wife
yeah,
and she was their age
yeah.
was
They didn't like that.
off-putting, so didn't
But
work.
now the only memory that I have of that during Uncle John's lifetime, and really Uncle John's lifetime, was when Bert came to visit Uncle John one time, and I didn't get any intimation that there was a problem.
We have about 3 minutes left.
About 3 minutes left.
Anything you want to say particular about Aunt Sally or your dad?
Anything you want to say particularly about?
A memory of Mammey was when I stayed there when I was 6. I was a little northern girl that did a lot of northern girl things. I walked myself to the bus when I was in kindergarten, but I wanted to walk downtown because I was bored. And I remember that Mammey made sure that I had to have a parasol. She wouldn't let me walk to town without a parasol. And I thought that was a little crazy, but I wasn't tuned into all of that. And then the second thing is, I remember once we got over the parasol thing and I just was walking downtown when I was 6, that I walked on I remember the broken sidewalk, and walking along, a colored gentleman, who was called a colored gentleman, coming toward me, and I was a northern girl, so I didn't think too much of it, but he stepped off the sidewalk to let me walk by. And I remember that to this day.
Oh, I have lots of memories
Yeah.
of exactly that.
And so and then I walked down to Bell's store, and I remember the telephones where Mammy would call in the morning. Do you remember and she would ring Bell's store and call
Oh,
for her
yeah.
groceries.
Oh, yeah. And she just started off talking. She wouldn't say this is
Oh, they
Smith
knew.
or anything.
Yeah.
Mr. Bell, I want this, and I want that, and I want this, and it was shortly delivered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Those were the days, kind of.
Those were the days.
Not if you were the colored gentleman, but otherwise.
I don't think he thought
Anything of it?
anything of it.
No. It was just the way things were.
In the movie theater, one of the doors had painted in kind of a scrawly paint colored entrance. And
That was upstairs. You had to go upstairs.
And I had
Well,
never seen anything like that. And there was a drinking fountain that was, for colored people. And it was like astonishing. I was just amazed that was the way
So
things were.
there was nothing like that in Chicago?
Oh, no.
So
Nothing
everything
close.
was integrated?
Oh, yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
This
I
was in
wouldn't
50
say everything was integrated.
Well,
I would say that it was not officially separate.
That's a good point. It
Yeah.
wasn't as overt. I mean, at least things were clear the way they were in the South. You knew where you stood. In the North, maybe you stood that way, but it wasn't clear.
Yeah, it
So
wasn't spelled out.
it wasn't spelled out.
Difference between de facto and de jure.
Yes,
Yes.
as we say. Okay, 30 more seconds.
30 more seconds.
They're yours.
No, they're yours. They're yours. You've got to leave tomorrow, so. Talk fast.
Fast. Well, I guess we both remember Mammy's house. We have
Oh, yeah.
vivid memories
I
of
remember
Mammy's
Mammy's
house.
house.
Me too.
Those trees.
Those trees.
And I've got movies of that.
Do you have
Yeah,
movies?
I've got a lot of, I've got movies of you there talking to Matt.
I've never seen any of those. I want to see those too. I haven't ever seen any.
No, sure.
We'll have to arrange another visit.
A viewing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Candace.
Is that all?
that's it.